Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. It's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we play Descent into Avernus, and we're halfway through the week. So hope you're all doing well, and thank you for coming and joining us for some D&D fun right here, smack dab in the middle of the week. And Pruno's out there, and he's a kind soul. And he has redeemed an inspiration right off the bat for Aplos.
Woo!
So, yes. Oh, and we've got... I can't even say one thing about the previous thing, and we got a woo. Thank you, Kit. Thank you for the subscription. But it's good. They go hand in hand. If you're stopping by and checking us out for the first time, you will see that Pruno out there redeemed an item from our EXP store. EXP are the points, all the points, the internet points that you earn for watching the stream, for cheering bits, and for doing things like subscribing to the channel. As you accumulate those things, you can definitely redeem them to do things in the game, like award the players inspiration, buy them healing potions. You can, you go to the store, you'll see it all. It's in there. We'll pop that up in the chat real quick. You can take a look. But yes, there are some things in there that you can only do if you're a subscriber. So subscribing to 20 Sides to Every Story will get you more EXP quicker. I think you get 5 times the amount.
Thanks for the jams, man!
And Nuthouse, thank you for the cheer. And also thank you for the fabulous character portraits that we are now displaying right next to the players who are playing those characters. They turned out really nice, and I think I can speak for all of us in saying that we are enjoying them. It helps me to have kind of some faces to look at as I'm picturing these characters running around doing what they're doing. Bruno just redeemed another inspiration for Evangeline. So yeah, you can subscribe to the channel, you can earn points faster, and you can redeem some of the items in there that are exclusive to the subscribers, like the dreaded wandering monster, but also name an NPC, redeem rumors, and such things. The other big plug that I always have to say when we talk about subscribers is keep an eye on your email. Make sure that you allow for notifications for 20 Sides to Every Story, because every week you may end up finding an email in your inbox with signups for our community campaign games. Right now we're trying to close out Isle of Dread. We've got a few more sessions of Isle of Dread coming up. And we've got our next one is happening this Saturday at 7 p.m. So if you want to come and see what the community campaign is all about, you can come and check that out on Saturday. But other than that, that's all I've got for kind of announcements at the front end here. Why don't we get started rolling into our game here? So previously in our campaign, our heroes have come to an Emporium, kind of this traveling band of it's an Emporium that is run by Mahadi, who you have met, who seemed to be a very eager, almost car salesman-like character, who was trying to entice you to all of the wonders of his Emporium, telling you that the things that him and his colleagues provide for wandering souls like yourselves are the comforts that you may be missing. Maybe you're here looking for information or magical items, or what you name it, he can find it. He gave you that kind of pitch. And the reason that our characters have come here to this wandering Emporium is because they were offered a deal by a devil named Blackcloak who owns a soul contract out on Bryn, but also has come into the possession of the future souls of many of the children of El Terrell. And many of the party members, maybe Evangeline chief among them, have expressed concern for the children, maybe derided Blackcloak a little bit for his methods, but so he has presented this opportunity to the party that if you care so much about these kids, well, you can do this favor for me, and we'll wipe the slate clean. And his deal was, if you went to the Wandering Emporium, he knew that you'd be able to find his ex-wife, who, if she is taken out of the picture, meaning if she is assassinated and killed, that he would inherit all of her soul contracts, and it would appear that he considers that more valuable than the souls of these children. And so he gave you a hard pitch that she is a terrible person herself, a necromancer. She owns all these soul contracts herself, so she can't be all that good. Whatever he had to say to convince you that this was it, he did it. From where I'm sitting, I'm not entirely convinced that the party is necessarily going in with the intention of killing her, but I think they're checking it out. Maybe I think there was a plan to maybe talk to her and, I don't know, feel it out. You're feeling out the situation, right? As we were kind of getting toward the end of the session, we had Evangeline and Lorelm. You know what? Before I kind of talk about where everyone's at, why don't we do character introductions? I think that would be this would be a good time to do that. So let's start. I always start at the top or the bottom, so I'm going to switch it up this time, and we will start with Lorelm, being played by Kit. Why don't you give us a character name, a little bit about your character that you're playing, but then also maybe one thing that they are. So you're all here for like the same purpose, but maybe there's something that you're looking for that you haven't expressed to the other party members here in the Emporium. Something that would catch your eye if you saw it and would make you stop and maybe talk to the vendor.
So my name's Kit. I play Lorem Goldshoulder, a dwarven bard. He's a glamour bard. He's the owner and proprietor of Goldshoulder Consulting and Concern, the adventuring firm that has hired these fine, upstanding individuals. Something that would catch my eye is probably any whispers of dissent that could potentially lead to finding out how to break contracts, especially with Zenith trying to kill Mahadi every other day. That has definitely piqued my interest.
All right. Sounds good. Next up, let's turn to Aplos, being played by Casey.
Hello, I'm Casey. I'm playing Aplos. He is a elven nobleman, very, very young. Considers himself quite the hero now. Before he just wanted to be a hero, and he's sort of accomplished that, he thinks. And as he's wandering around the Emporium, as a nobleman, it is his responsibility to redistribute wealth. So he's looking to spend as much of his money as he can, but not the 3 soul coins, which he acquired, because those need to be expended in a special way to release the souls so they have the opportunity to continue on. But any gold he happens to come across, that just needs to leave his pockets as fast as possible. And he doesn't really remember the last few minutes, but he looks amazing now. His hair's all nicely coiffed. I think he probably had his armor done. He may have his fingernails painted. Just those sorts of things. Things that would catch his eye. Just recently, he came into the realization that while mobile, a good swinging action can actually be very devastating. So he's on the lookout for a horseman's flail or mace, to emulate the wrecking ball that he had so much fun with while out on the Doom Wagon, Crusher, Squisher.
You mash up enough of those
exhausted.
words, and it's probably a vehicle in Avernus.
It's in there somewhere. That thing. That was very effective. So yes.
And next we have Bryn being played by Ethan.
Hello, that's me. I'm playing Bryn Herthley. She is a halfling warlock. Her patron being the fiend Blackcloak, who has asked the four of us to at least entertain the idea of assassinating his ex partner. So Bryn is definitely here to try to understand what exactly is her patron's past and how the lower half of the extraplanar world works in terms of Mahadi's marketplace. And while she's exploring this place with the rest of her companions, the thought comes across her mind that while they were out on their, was it the demon crusher, demon grinder,
Demon Grinder.
some sort of vehicle they were mad maxing about on. She had a great time. She accidentally blew up her imp familiar Imsum, and now would be probably a good time to find the materials required to get her familiar back, and starting to formulate an apology before that happens.
Sounds good. And then we have Evangeline being played by Lauren.
I'm playing Evangeline, and prior to coming to Hell, Evangeline was a merchant, and so she feels very at home in this environment. But in addition to knickknacks and household goods, Evangeline also traded in secrets, and so she is on the lookout for someone who sells similar services here. So thus far, she's only really come across disgruntled individuals who talk a lot, but maybe not exactly what she's looking for. So.
All right. So where we last left off, we had Evangeline and Laurel ended up in what looks like a tent right next to this strange farm of sorts. You saw a pen with these kind of crazy looking wormish like creatures that were just kind of inching about, huge types of things. And inside, yes, you met this hobgoblin who appears to be a very disgruntled, or maybe in some cases even seems maybe he's like an indentured servant of some kind that Mahadi has some control over. But nonetheless, yes, Mahadi told you this guy's definitely gonna try to hire you to kill me. Just ignore him. It's fine. And like clockwork, this guy, like, it was like one of the first things. He like barely knew you, and he was already talking to you about conspiracy to kill Mahadi, offering up soul coins for if you could be successful. So the two of you are in there gabbing with this guy, maybe talking, asking him a little bit about Fëanor. I don't know if he quite got there, but it doesn't matter. She's just walked through the door. I'll pop up the image so we can all give the audience the look at this gloomy character in her white gown, holding her parasol of bone. So she walked through the door. That's where the two of you left off. Applos had just gone to get this haircut, to get some pampering. You've been out here in Avernus for a bit. Why not? It was maybe cheaper than you were expecting for Avernus prices. I think it was 10 gold or so for the deal. And this.
Whoa! Thanks for the jams, man.
Hey, Sauries, thank you for the cheer. We appreciate that. the person that was giving you the styling was asking you a bunch of questions about, I don't know, dragons, asking if you've seen any Abishai about, things like that. Seemed like just kind of fishing for information. Of course, you didn't know a whole lot. Told her maybe a little bit about what you knew. You saw like a stone or a rock or something with a claw mark and some kind of a saying. Maybe, I don't remember if you told her about that or not. But nonetheless, you left. And this strange thing will happen. Casey, the player, understands this, but Aplos, the character, has no recollection of having gone into that store and having gotten this haircut or where the 10 gold was. But definitely got the styling, and maybe is seeing your reflection in the pane glass of windows that you're passing by, and yeah, you look good somehow. No worries. It is tradition to interrupt me with subscriptions and cheers and things like that. So you interrupt away, Souries. Thank you. Let's see. So that's where Aplos, I think, was like kind of returning to the direction where he saw the group going, and Bryn, I believe, was maybe out shopping. I don't exactly remember what beat we left off on with Bryn, but in between sessions, I think we talked about Bryn is looking for the way to buy some material components to bring Imsum back.
Yep.
So I think we will start with that. So as you're walking about, you are checking out some of these various tents, maybe just poking your head in to kind of do some window shopping just to see, like, is this even like the store for me that they would have anything. And after checking out a few, you poke your head into one tent, and inside you can see that it's like a circular tent kind of thing. You poke your head in, you can see that there are some kind of like makeshift shelving units that have been stacked up with all sorts of weird kind of curiosities, the types of things that look like they would be material components for various rituals and spells and things like that. Maybe even like a few just kind of random like weapons or things like that, like maybe some things that look curiously like the dagger that you acquired at one point. And so this looks like kind of some kind of weird magic shop-ish kind of thing. You can see in the back of the tent there's like a big plush, almost like a beanbag kind of chair, and there's a big rotund devil that is sitting in that seat, just kind of like flipping through a book kind of lazily in one hand, and like has this a fan, like a winged fan that he's using to cool off a bit. And as you're poking in, that's when you see Aplos kind of coming in your direction.
Oh, Aplos, over here.
Miss Bryn,
Oh, looking sharp. Where
Oh.
where did you go?
I think this is just natural for me. My mother said it was a trick of the trade, but I think it's just something that happens. Yeah.
Okay. Here, help me out. I'm trying to look for some, what was it? Incense? Charcoal? Trying to come up with the components so that I can bring back Imsum.
Oh, well, I do like incense. And he'll start sniffing around. The cookies are that way, so the incense is here. It smells nice, whatever this is. And he's looking at probably something horrific.
Yeah, there's like a blackened, like ghoulish looking hand that is like on a pedestal. And the whole place just smells like clove cigarettes.
Yeah, this might not work. Shopkeep, excuse me. Shopkeep.
Whoa.
Do you carry any charcoal or incense or what passes as such here in
Yeah.
Avernus?
Hey. And he like snaps his fingers a couple of times, and whoop, you just see an imp kind of come from being invisible goes visible, and he's like, "Show him where the charcoal is over on the third shelf." And the little imp kind of flutters over to what you just asked for and plucks a few pieces of coal from the shelf and drops it in your hand. And he says, "How many do you need?"
It's how much can I get for 10 gold?
I'll sell you one for 10 gold.
Great. All right. I reach in my pouch and not sure who to hand it to, the imp or the.
He just like points at the imp who takes the gold and disappears somewhere with it. He says, no returns or exchanges. All sales
Great.
final.
Yes. Does that happen? Do you get exchanges often?
No, because I tell him no exchange.
Right. Okay. Great. What kind of store is this anyway? And I'm like kind of eyeing that clawed hand in the bottle.
This is kind of pawn store, but also I do courier service. I can send a message for you.
Message?
Yeah.
To anyone? Like anywhere on Avernus or elsewhere?
Interplanar message that cost extra. Yeah, extra.
Okay. What are your prices?
Somewhere Avernus, 100 gold or equivalent in precious gemstones, diamonds. If you want somewhere else, we call 500 gold.
Okay. Apples, that seems pretty handy. Maybe we should tell Laurent and Evangeline. I know we were trying to reach Baldur's Gate. Maybe this might be a method.
Oh, yes, that does sound like a good idea. And when you look over, Aplos has his hands like folded behind his back, the way like parents instruct children to do when they're not allowed to touch stuff. So he's like leaning over as far as he can, like looking at things while making sure he's not touching. These all smell a bit odd. And he's just like going from one to each, sniffing at it.
Some maybe accursed, I don't know.
Oh, don't smell those. Here.
Oh.
Reach for it.
Okay.
And then you see on one of the shelves there is a flail, like you were looking for upon one of the shelves. It's just like it's not all that beautiful to look at. In fact, it looks kind of crude. All the spikes coming out of the ball head are almost some of them look kind of rusty and corroded. They're all different shapes and sizes. It kind of looks like a crude weapon.
Oh. Well, that's not really in keeping with the aesthetic, but and he sort of like looks around himself. He's like, I do want one, but where would I keep it? And like every inch of him is just covered in either harness or a weapon, or his shield or his armor or his backpack and his bedroll and his water skin and his mess kit. I think we'll have to come back for this one.
Oh, wait. This is a pawn shop, right? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Did anyone pawn off? So if you couldn't tell, the two of us were from Baldur's Gate, from the we encountered some people that once had a magical bag. You could put things in and they disappear, but you could pull things back out. Do you have anything like that here?
Yeah. And then he's they want a bag of holding.
Ah, yes, that makes perfect sense.
And the amp like kind of goes over to one of the shelves, and there's a couple of different satchels. They just look like mundane things to you, but you can see the imp is like carefully like inspecting each one, and he reaches for one, and it starts like biting at him, and he like, woo!
Oh,
Not that one.
No, not that one.
And he grabs a different one and flutters back over to you and shows you this bag, this just kind of ruddy old leather bag, very beat up.
Miss Bryn, I know it does happen to me from time to time, but I seem to have spent all of my money again. So I'll need to earn some before we can buy the bag, unless you have some.
I have a bit. How much is it?
500 gold.
500 gold. Oof.
Or 1 soul coin.
Oh. So now, well, I'm kind of short on the gold. If you hold on to that for a few moments, we have some friends that are in the market browsing as well. If I go find them.
Yeah. He's
Great.
just like the whole time he's just like looking at this book, like he's being like not very engaging at all. He's
Okay.
just, yeah.
Great. And the flail, Oplos, that you want, we can have him hold it too when we come back.
It's not very stylish though.
No, you're right. It's not really your thing.
No,
You want bludgeoning weapon.
Well, it has to sort of maintain the look. I sort of have a theme going, and he sort of gestures to like the gleaming steel, branching thorn, flowery thing he's got going on. And that's a little I mean, my armor looked like that before I had it redone, but I went to all the trouble of having it redone.
He snaps his fingers again, and a different imp like goes flying over and like finds this mace and brings it over. It's made of this like blackish iron. Like it doesn't look beat up like the other one. But it looks like an infernal type of weapon. It's got like veins of fire that kind of decorate the iron, and it sheds a dim light. It just looks like something that you find in like a Diablo game or something.
Oh. Well, that does look like a heroic treasure. How much would those be?
250.
Oh. Well, we will go and find our friends and pool our monies, and I will try to convince them to let me spend it.
Oh, okay.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you end up exiting the tent, and that's the point when we'll switch over to Evangeline and Lorem in the other tent as Fëanor walks through the door. And as she steps through, she kind of is like kind of twirling her parasol, and she's just kind of got this faraway look as she's looking around his shop, which for the most part is there's a couple of like the prominent things that it seems like he's selling is some kind of this demon ichor stuff that you are kind of familiar with from back at Mad Maggie's, and he's got a couple. There's like some large like casks of it, maybe like 2 or 3 of those, and then like shelving units that have like vials and glassware that contain this disgusting looking substance within its containers. And she's kind of mulling about the shop, like looking at some of the shelves. And you've still got the hobgoblin there, like chatting with you, and he says, "Well, what do you think? I think you might be the right crew to take him out."
Well, I appreciate the vote of confidence in us, my good sir. I think we will have to politely decline.
And you can see he's like getting real upset when Fëanor is just like, Zeneth, I need your help. And he goes, and he goes scurrying off, and you can see that the two of them are in the corner having a conversation.
I'm definitely trying to eavesdrop on that conversation.
Okay, give me a perception check.
All right. Meh.
9. You're not sure. Like they're kind of being a little, like they're in a library. You're in there. They're keeping their negotiation. Maybe it's like somewhat. The tone that they are having is somewhat because of Zeneth is maybe trying to keep it a secret what his prices are and what types of deals that he's giving her.
Well, what are they saying?
Honestly, I'm not hearing much. Just something about deals they're making about this whole poison stuff he sells.
So, did we get so far as to decide what we wanted to do?
I mean, I feel like we need to talk to her first, Like, she looks, but maybe she's perfectly nice, I don't want to just murder someone.
I'll reserve my judgment until I have more information on that. But how do we approach her?
I was thinking I could compliment her parasol.
Oh, yes, that's good.
And as you're kind of talking about what is your approach going to be, you see she like kind of twirls around with a flourish, and she says, "Then it's settled, ha!" And she seems to like do this like tug kind of motion on her parasol, and the whole thing kind of becomes this like cascading rain of skeletal hands that drop off of it, leaving it bare. And these hands kind of scuttle about the shop, and you can see they all kind of gather around one of the casks of the demon ichor, and with some effort they scoot themselves like underneath and raise the cask up, and the cask starts to scuttle its way out the front door.
Well, that is extraordinarily impressive. I have got to say, where did you ever find such a thing?
Oh, it's custom made.
Well, can I ask who made it?
What was the question? Who made it?
Oh, can I ask who made it? Who had it? Who did?
Oh,
who?
you're looking at her.
You?
I design all of my clothes.
That's incredible.
I
And
must
my
say,
accessories.
you're a woman of taste.
I'm just.
I have a
I'm
taste.
So amazed by it. I'm legitimately just in awe. Like there's no way I can kill this woman. Like she is. Where did you come up with a design like that? What was your inspiration?
I look for inspiration throughout the multiverse, and I have landed myself here in Avernus because this is where I've had my best ideas.
Oh, clearly. Certainly, stylish and yet utilitarian at the same time.
Indeed.
Where were you before Avernus, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it's a little personal, don't you think?
Well, I'm just curious. It's just, you have a very unique look.
Clearly, you're well-traveled.
Fine, I'll tell you. I lived in the Feywild. That's where I grew up.
Oh, I see. Well,
Much too green. Too many songs. Oh, don't get me wrong. There is a fair amount of misery that can go around there as well, but it's not quite like it is here. Wouldn't you agree?
Disorganized,
Yes.
chaotic. Everything's done in favors. I much prefer a contract.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I am late for another appointment.
Oh, by all means, don't let us keep you.
Yes, go ahead.
And you can see she makes her way out the tent.
So I'm just gonna lean in and say, how did he ever get with her?
And how did he get with Mad Maggie? I don't get it.
I don't
There's
understand.
surely not the personality. I will turn around and kind of look to Zenith and go, well, thank you so much. We will consider your offer. And
I've heard it all before. It's fine. I won't hold it against you.
if we could without seriously endangering ourselves, I would gladly take you up on that deal. But at this juncture, I much prefer my own soul intact.
And you make your way out the tent, and that's when basically the party will kind of notice each other coming out of these different stores or whatnot that you've been in, and then you'll once again see all of each other and have a chance to reconvene.
Oh, Bryn, Atlas, there you are.
Yes.
So, you'll never guess who we just met.
Zariel?
No. Oh my
No.
goodness. No. Our prospective target,
Oh.
Black Cloak's ex.
Oh.
She's way out of his league. I'm just gonna say that.
It's a
Opening
common
league.
theme.
Also, maybe out of our league. I'm just also throwing that out there.
Well, he did seem an ambitious fellow, so he would most likely be the type to try to marry up.
Yeah.
Yes. She's certainly a necromancer. Quite
Very-
casual about it, too.
We talked
Casual and skilled. I feel like those are two things that need to really be
Yes.
highlighted here.
We talked to her
He's-
briefly, yes. Basically just a pleasantry is what passed for them in Avernus. But it's definitely her. She confirmed that she was from the Feywild.
Oh,
Wild.
Apparently, it wasn't as pleasant as she finds Avernus.
Or rather, it was too pleasant.
Yes, I guess that's it. Was she found its pleasantness unpleasant?
I don't know if we're capable of doing what Black Cloak wants us to.
That's rather my interpretation of the situation as well. Between her obviously considerable capabilities and surely she has some protection from her current love interest. I feel like we're in a bit of over our head if we try to do anything. However, I feel the two of them could easily Black Cloak, like, no problem.
Oh, but that would be rather disastrous for Miss Bryn.
Yes.
Right. But
Yeah.
they might be able to lift that too.
I don't know if you've picked up on this, but I found that most folks we've encountered have been rather self-focused, less prone to helping others than in the wonderful city of Baldur's Gate, which is an impressive metric.
Yes.
That's fair. I do think they're the kind who might say, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll help you with Bryn," and then
Yes. So
Suddenly, you all hear this sound of. It sounds like I don't know, vaguely like battle, but you just hear maybe like the swooshing of some blades, and then this like kind of crazy voice just be like, "Oh, what the hell are you doing, man? God! Oh, stop!" And you just hear like from, I don't know, maybe it's hard to say. You don't see any violence like immediately in your vicinity. Nobody else really. It doesn't look like there's anybody else like rushing about. There's no urgency. It's just that you're picking up that maybe like around the corner or something out of eye shot. There's some kind of conflict happening.
Oh, that's odd. I thought they said on the sign there was to be no violence. And then Aplos will go look around the corner.
And around the corner, you see two white Abishai with blades, and they are slashing their blades against. From your perspective, you can't really see who it is, but definitely someone that is like kind of crumpled up on the ground and is just maybe the character got jumped or something, but they are kind of prone on the ground right now and just taking a beating.
Oh, but stop that. That doesn't seem fair. Where's Mr. Yes, him.
Mahadi?
Yes, Mr. Mahadi. Mr. Mahadi, there's a bit of hello? Stop that. And he's like, and he's sort of like trying to interpose himself.
Okay. So you go over there and try to get in between the two, and you end up taking like a backhand swing comes flying your way from one of the two, but it misses you. Like it just dings off of your armor.
Oh no! Stop that! Really?
And so Applos is over there trying to intervene. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I'm trying to retrieve Applos because I get the sense that this establishment is much like a zero tolerance situation. So regardless of Applos' intent, if he's involved, he's probably going to get taken down too. So I'm like trying to drag Applos away.
Okay.
But Mr. Lorm, he needs...
Aptos, dear, I don't think this is your fight.
They're all my fights.
No.
You have to choose them wisely.
I choose all of them.
No, your fights. As your supervisor, I strongly advise against this.
Like,
As your friend, Aplos, just why don't you try to find Mr. Mahadi? Okay?
I did. I called for Mr. Mahadi.
No, but you went into the battle. Let's go away from the battle.
He's very quick. I was expecting him to be here already.
So Evangeline and Lorem are trying to convince Applos this is not the fight to have. Bryn, what are you up to?
I'm looking around. Can I get a good look at who they're bashing?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
All right. And they're white Abishai. So is this the same white Abishai that attacked us?
Like not the very
exact
same, but same type. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nope.
Oh,
You're not sure, but you just hear the cries of the guy just being like, "No, come on! This totally is your fight. It's our fight. It could be our fight."
Aplos, if we
Yes.
get kicked out of here, then all of this is for nothing. Or what if you got stuck here forever?
and no wishing for Mahadi to stop it either, because that could be a contract.
You sort of got ahead of me there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do right now.
Aplos, stay with me. Stay with me. Okay.
but-
let's go together, and I'm gonna try to like link arms with you. Let's go together and try to find Mr. Mahadi. Okay? Come now. You can
Blades are
protect me
coming
in case
down on
someone-
this guy who's squealing. You can tell like it's a matter of seconds. You know.
Uh, uh.
I'm casting command.
Oh, no
Okay.
spell casting!
Yeah, she's not gonna remember that. I'm gonna try to do a command to tell them to halt and stop.
Okay. Can you upcast it to have multiple targets?
At higher levels, I can affect one additional creature. So
Okay. So, you need wisdom saves from me, I think, right?
Yes, I do.
And they have magic resistance.
Oh, of course they do.
First one rolls an 8.
That's a fail.
The second one rolls an 11.
They both fail.
So your command was halt?
The command was halt or stop. Yeah.
Stop. So, how long does it last? Is it one turn?
1 round.
One round. Okay. So there's like a moment. You can see that they both stop. And they are like they both flash you, Bryn, like the nastiest look, just snarling. You can see the cold breath weapon. Kind of.
Oh, look! They're having second thoughts. Quick, run, friend!
Nope.
And he definitely like gets up, and now you can see the character. He's kind of this almost Eladrin looking guy with a big happy smile on his face. He's like, "Thanks, bro! That was wicked awesome! Come on, let's get the hell out of here!"
I love
And
your
he's
hair!
Yours too, man!
Oh,
And he's just running. What do the rest of you do?
I'm trying to drag Appos in the opposite direction.
I'm saying, Bryn, get out of there. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
we should probably go.
Quickly.
All right.
And as we leave, I kind of look over my shoulder to see where this smiling person is running off to, so we know what direction he went.
Yeah, like there's basically like two directions to go. Yeah, there's the road is really just a track around the Emporium. And then there's like some nooks and crannies of these like artificial like alleys between tents. But then the outside of the Emporium is all of the infernal war machines really make up the wall that makes up the establishment.
Yep, get in out of there before those Abishai can start moving again.
So is your all your goal to like outrun them?
I want to
Distance?
drag us into the food establishment.
We want
I
to.
want us to be surrounded by as many people as possible.
Yeah, we want to
Okay.
lose them.
So I'm gonna make this a skill check type of deal here. You're trying to get away from them before this becomes a full on fisticuffs type of deal. So I'm gonna go through and ask each of you what it is exactly that you are maybe doing. Maybe you're enhancing your escape with some kind of action or something that you're able to do to help you succeed. So, Lauren, we'll start with you. Describe to me what your mad dash to the I forget what it's called. The Infernal Rapture is.
Um, I don't know.
I mean, it could be just I'm running as fast as I can. Like that's totally legitimate.
Yeah, I was looking over to see what I have, if I have anything that would help us, and I don't think so.
You
'Cause
could.
I'm not going to cast magic because that's a no-no. So it is just really like trying to drag us in like the straightest line possible.
Give me either a strength or a dex based athletics check.
Definitely dex based. Do you want it still an
So then-
athletics or
so
acrobatics?
Dex is the base stat, but if you're proficient in athletics, then you get your proficiency as well.
I am not. So I'll just give you a dex roll. Hey, not bad.
All right, so you are, despite your tiny legs and your reduced speed in normal combat situations, you are terrified of the ramifications of getting into this conflict, and your adrenaline is pumping, and you book it, and you make it within the tent flaps of the Infernal Rapture. Aplos, what are you doing as you're making the mad dash away?
So I think Aplos is sort of like off on the wrong foot. So he's just sort of like weaving and staggering. And as he's doing, he's like coming very close to oh, excuse me, pardon me. And he's sort of turning away and then, oh, excuse me, pardon me. Oh, so he's got sort of like the imposing, like I'm a big person in armor rushing up, but then very politely stopping. Oh, excuse me. And then turning and sort of making his way in sort of an intimidation, persuasion-y sort of angle. Like raw charisma in your face and then slide away.
Okay. It could be I think probably more on the persuasion-y side. It doesn't sound too intimidation like.
That's fair. Persuasion. 21.
Okay. So is it like you're going through like crowds of other people and kind of getting mixed up with them a little bit, or is it
I think it's
directed towards the Ibishai?
I think it's the crowds of people because we're heading into like the eatery.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's probably like off the foot, like he's like getting right in the front of a server by accident, and then like, oh, I'm so terribly sorry, and turns around and like then there's a server like in between him and the Abishai, and then he turns around and there's the hostess, and don't get up, but everybody's starting to get up, and oh, it's very nice to meet you, and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So like you run and you get to like the VIP like line where like it leads into like the special suite. And like you're doing like some like cutting and like making your way through the line. The Ebishai just like one of them like breaks off to try to go and like chase after you, but is an Abishai and is just being belligerent towards the different people in the way and getting them all flustered. But meanwhile you make your way in, and yes, you start like shaking hands on the inside and camouflage your way to the restaurant somehow.
I love your parasol, by the way.
Awesome. Bryn, what are you doing as you have just maybe bought some time for the crew, and you kept an eye on where this character was going?
Yeah, I think so. For the skill check, if I use a skill, then Evangeline can't use it. Is that how we're doing this? Or?
No, it's just whatever you come up with.
All right, sounds good. Then I think as a halfling, she's gonna take advantage of that naturally stealthy and being small, and kind of just weave her way in and out of the crowd, heading towards the tent.
Okay, that sounds good. Give me a stealth check.
All right. Yeah, naturally stealthy.
You were the one that cast the command spell, and so the other Abishai, like was going like directly after you because you were the one that intervened and allowed this other person to get away. So the Abishai ends up like, well, we'll get to that. I want to hear what Evangeline has first.
So I'm kind of, less intimidating, but I'm kind of also doing what Aplos is doing and going, oh, pardon me, excuse me, and trying to get as many people behind me as possible and kind of like make them feel like they need to stay behind me as much as possible. Like, oh, well, you're so kind, and doing the whole, nice, get out of my way and get behind me thing.
I'm going to say same check, a persuasion check.
All right.
Or, yeah. Okay. 17. So you're kind of right there with Aplos, and you get into the restaurant as well. So Bryn is the only one on the outside, and it's going to take you all some time to realize that Bryn didn't quite make it. Bryn was trying to maybe go a separate way to get stealthy and whatnot. So Bryn,
Just like, Miss Bryn. Oh, she's gone again. She's so sneaky.
yeah, she's doing really well.
I think she might have gotten stuck out there.
Oh, well, that's not good.
So Bryn, you end up, you're like trying to like maybe weave, take like a shortcut. This Abishai like ends up like right in front of you, and is gonna take a couple of swings at you.
What?
A 17 to hit.
That hits.
That'll be 7 points of damage.
All right.
No.
And then it tries to follow it up with its claw. And that's a 9 to hit, which would be a miss.
9 is a miss.
Bryn, it is your turn.
Is just the one Abishai, or are there two?
You just have one in melee range with you.
And onlookers, they're not doing anything?
There are some people that are noticing that this fight is breaking out, but kind of like how Evangeline and Lorem didn't want to get involved in the original fight, no one is rushing to your aid. Many of them pretending like they don't. They obviously see it, but like head down, like nope.
Excuse me, there's no fighting here. I say like really loudly. Hopefully they can hear, and I cast Eldritch Blast at him.
All right. Will be at disadvantage.
Yes, it would be. Yeah. Let's see.
But that'll hit.
Great.
Ooh, 11 points of damage.
And it's repelling, so it will push him back.
Okay, so then your next one is standard.
Yep.
And that'll hit.
Nice.
For 13 points damage.
What?
See, it was just all you three that were pulling me back.
Yeah.
They're pulling me back. And once he's pushed back a safe distance, I'm just gonna run into the crowd and try to lose him again.
Okay. What's your movement speed?
I am a halfling, so 25.
Okay. So you're a little tough for Bryn to make a clean escape. But you hear in your mind the white Abishai is talking to you, and it just says, You ruined our chance to get our hands on the mask. You will pay. Tiamat's wrath knows no limits. And then, as you're like, you can see it like take flight, and it's getting ready to come chase after you. But then you see that the Eladrin guy from earlier like comes around the corner, and he's bearing a weapon of his own. He's got a short sword in hand, and he's just like whoosh-a-cha! And he starts like swinging it away at its backside. He makes 2 weapon attacks.
My hero.
So he manages to hit it a couple of times as well. 11 points of damage, and then again. Oops. That's not the dice I want. Here we go. So he hits it a couple of times from behind, and the white Abishai like just turns around, attention on him. A couple of long swords come his way, and you see he gets hit once and twice. Once with the long sword and once with the claw. Bryn, what would you like to do?
Okay, Blacklow's gonna have to teach me how to close off my mind to voices because I'm hearing too many voices. I'm gonna help him out. So I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the Abishai.
That's a hit.
Yeah, it is.
11 points. It's still up.
All right, second. Oh, no.
So you shoot your two Eldritch Blasts. One of them pushes him forward. Unfortunately, the second one misses, but it pushes him forward, and this thing like holds out the Eladrin like holds out his blade, and it ends up like skewering him on his short sword. And it's enough, I believe, yes, to take it down. And the Abishai kind of drops down next to him. And this guy's looking at you. He's like, hey, that was pretty sweet what you did there. Now, there's a lot of looky-loos here. We need to skedaddle. And he just, like, grabs hold of you, and then poof, like, you disappear from the street.
Whoa.
And then poof, you pop back into view, and you're, like, outside, you're outside the Emporium, kind of near where you parked your Infernal War Machine. And you can see there are these salamander-type creatures that are walking about with wrenches, and you can see a number of them working on some of the other vehicles that are here. There's like an animated suit of armor that seems to be like holding a tray of like nuts and bolts, and just seems to be kind of a servant of the salamander mechanics. None of them are paying any attention to you. Pop back into view, and he's just like, whew. That was a close call back there, man. Oh my god. Where'd your friends go? I thought that one of the guys seemed hella cool, like he was gonna help me out.
Yeah, Applos, I think they're still in the tent. We kind of left them there. We should go back and find them. Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can help you out. We can get back in there, but maybe we should just wait like a little bit for the heat to die down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
What'd you say your name was?
I didn't. I'm Bryn.
Bryn. Oh, it is such a pleasure to meet you, Bryn. I'm Smiler.
Smiler.
Yeah.
Why do they call you that?
Oh, come on. Isn't it obvious? I just love smiling.
Yeah, that. Are you from here?
Not originally. I've been here a little too long, though. I tell you. It grows on you, this place, though. No, I'm from a little place called the Feywild. Don't know if you heard of it. This real righteous chick, Mad Maggie, brought me here a long time ago.
Well, wait, you know Mad Maggie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mad Maggie.
I know Mad
Wow.
Maggie. Yeah.
Wow. Small world. Am I right?
Yeah, she is. I guess my boss's partner.
Oh, you talking about Black Cloak? That guy's still around?
You know Black Cloak too? Oh boy.
Yeah,
okay.
me and Black Cloak, we're
Friends.
thick as thieves, me and him.
Great. I'm just like eyeing him over. Can I tell if he's got all his marbles in his jar right now? Like,
Make an insight check.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe he's just a happy guy. Like, he's really enthusiastic, and like you're like not even questioning it because you just got out of this like potentially like deadly thing that like happened to you. Like, you saw your life flash before your eyes when you had to deal with Abishai earlier. Like, when you had your party, gave you a hard time to have to deal with one by yourself. You're just, I don't know. You're not picking up on any of the insanity cues that are super obvious.
Right.
But as you're sitting here talking to him and you're trying to maybe feel him out a little bit, you see this like this big this keg that is moving seemingly by itself. And you can see these like kind of crawly like fingertips like hoisting it up, and it's like moving over towards one of the infernal war machines. It's kind of again like a souped up version of the thing that you strolled in here with, but there's a whole bunch of ghouls and undead hanging out nearby. And as that crate moves over there, you can see it's being like loaded up by them into the machine.
Oh, necromancer. Okay. And I just like slowly start moving to like a good hiding spot that I can spy.
Sounds good. And Smiler, like, he doesn't know why you're hiding, but he like comes over there and he hides right with you, just crouching there, like smiling intensely in your face as you are trying to observe this other scene. So we'll move to the restaurant. So the rest of you have ended up one way or another in the Infernal Rapture, which is the big, the gourmet restaurant that Mahadi first tried to tempt you with. It is packed. There are people seated at all of the tables, white cloth, circular tables. It's quite pleasant in here. There's some piano music playing. It doesn't give you, despite it's called the Infernal Rapture, it just feels like a 5-star restaurant from wherever you're from. And you're there and kind of making your way. Lorem, you're at some point, Lorem, you're greeted by a some kind of a devil. You're not sure what. He's got like 2 big horns coming out of his head, cloven hoofed feet, but then just like hairy, massive upper build of a male, and he's just kind of like poking at you, and he says, "Hey, you got a reservation?"
Well, yes, we should.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, that should be under the name Gold Shoulder.
Gold Shoulder. Okay. Well, how many?
I think 3.
3.
Myself included at the moment.
Okay. Right this way. And he takes you to a table, and kind of like has a couple of imps kind of fly around. They set the table real quick, pull up some chairs. This table like didn't exist before, but it like kind of appeared. And you're just getting the sense like this place that you're in, this huge dining hall, there's no way like spatially like it should exist in this tiny little tent that you've just entered, but such is the way of things on other planes, perhaps. As you're taking your seats and you're being handed like menus and things like that, you do notice that Fenor is here, and you can see Mahadi is over at her table, like just wildly gesturing, and seems like he's hamming it up way across on the other side of the room. And the demon or the devil that just sat you, he says, "And could I start you off with some beverages?"
I think we'll hold off for a second. Browse the menu.
Take all the time. And he just backs away, gives you takes his leave of you.
Well then.
Mr. Lorem?
Yes.
I seem to recall in one of our books while I was training for Paladin school that we were supposed to have established a meetup spot, and I think we failed to do so.
Yeah, well, we weren't supposed to get split up in the first place, but that is wise.
That is why you should always establish a meetup spot. Pete Paladin says so.
I'm going to assume it's the Demon Grinder.
Yes.
Well, that does seem reasonable. So,
and we'll establish that now for us going forward. If we get separated, Demon Grinder.
So, how many courses should we have before we go and meet up? at the demon grinder?
As little as possible.
Oh,
Are there prices on this menu?
Yeah, I take a look at the menu.
There are no prices at an established like this.
Yeah, no.
That's kind of what I thought. They didn't even just like do like the one number
no.
thing without the dollar sign or anything.
You're really
Even better than that. Even nicer.
I'm going to assume that we are going to have to take those pretty soul coins to get out of here.
That I think is reasonable. I mean, there might be like a fee for just sitting here for all we know.
Could we try to avoid that? I feel like if
Oh.
I don't have them, someone else will probably burn them.
I absolutely think we should try our best to avoid that. I agree. But
I
just
mean-
be aware that the situation we're in, there might be no way out except for to burn them.
Well, most of the other places did take gold. At least they took Bryn's gold, and some of my gold is gone, so I'm sure I bought something.
Okay.
What do you mean some of your gold is gone?
Well, when I came in, I was heavier, and now I am lighter. About by half.
You mean you went to go get a haircut, didn't you?
Your hair does look nice.
My hair does look nice.
Obviously,
So-
it happened.
Oh,
So yes, that's probably where your money is with the hairdresser.
Do
yes.
you not remember? What
No.
happened?
Well, we split up, and then I met back up with Miss Bryn, and she complimented my hair, which is very usual. She's very attentive to that sort of thing. Then we bought some charcoal. We looked at
But before that,
I don't know.
So as you're all pondering Aplos's like lapse of memory, situation that this isn't the first time that this has happened to Aplos, money missing, doesn't remember what happened. You see this ogre kind of walking through the aisles of tables, and he's juggling these like 3 boulders. And all the while he's balancing like a board on the top of his head, upon which an imp is riding a little tricycle and juggling some daggers, and they're just doing this like kind of like circus routine or some kind of weird infernal pre-dinner entertainment.
Oh,
Avert your eyes, Aplos. Don't look at it. They probably charge
But-
for this entertainment. Don't look at it. Look at this.
but could I give him at least a gold?
No!
no, we might need that.
Look at the table. Table.
The waiter comes back over. Have you made your decisions?
Yes, we'll start off with a bottle of wine, just the house wine.
Maybe some
House.
bread.
Okay. Poof. He like snaps his fingers. Bottle of wine, 3 glasses, and it almost seems like the bottle, like the contents of the bottle, are just like draining out, and your glasses are being filled up without any physical pour happening.
That's lovely.
Maybe I can start you off with some appetizers.
Just the bread. Did you get the bread?
Well, actually, we're one of our companions hasn't shown up yet, and I'm thinking we should go check on them, but I don't want to lose our table.
Why? We had a reservation for 3.
I mean,
I kind of like kick Aplos. I don't know if I
Ow!
can reach Aplos under the table with my tiny legs, but I'm gonna
His tiny
try.
legs are kicking at his knee.
The devil is just like, I'll come back. He turns away and leaves.
All right.
I thought
So
you were,
we're gonna drink the wine,
but I
and then
thought
we're gonna
you were,
probably have some bread, and then we're gonna leave.
I thought you weren't counting her because she was a servant.
No.
What?
What? Where would you get that?
But that's why she would be
Apples.
behind, because she's supposed to catch up with the... Oh.
No.
Applos. Okay, sweetheart, you have got to understand here. Bryn is not your servant.
No, I know she's not my servant. I thought that's what you were saying. And that's why...
No,
She
she's the
didn't
one
say
that...
that!
I don't know.
She's the one that got in the fight. I don't want to associate us with her.
Oh, but then I'm confused.
Okay, Applos, we
Yes.
just want to drink our wine,
Yes.
get out of here as
Okay.
fast and
Suddenly,
as we can.
like, Mahadi is, like, right behind you. He puts a big arm on Lorum's shoulder, big hand on Evangeline's shoulder, and he's just like, hello, my friends! I see that you've made your way to Infernal Rapture! The best,
Yes.
best cuisine
We have!
in all of Avernus! Yes!
Yes.
I trust
Yes.
that you are finding it to your liking.
Oh, quite. And I'll have a sip of the wine.
Very good, very good. Please, as I say, any complaints at all, you just let Mahadi know, right?
Yes, I do actually have a complaint. There were some attacks that happened outside. It seems two white Abishai descended upon some poor bloke.
Oh! Yes, that is very concerning. I will definitely be looking into that. We can't have this violence. You saw the sign, no violence, no spell casting, no exceptions.
Yeah, and I look at his face as he's saying that. Like, does he seem genuine when I mention white Abishai, or did he like pause?
You can make an insight check.
Let's see. Insight check. Hey.
It's just like fake surprise. Like, not like he's worried or anything, but he's just like, oh man, that's crazy.
Fake surprises and like it seems like this is something he's used to.
Yeah,
or
like,
he's just not worried about it.
he's not worried about it.
Okay.
Like he's putting on a show to be like, oh, your concerns are top of my mind.
Okay.
But you know that he's just gonna
Okay. All right.
I have a concern for you, I think.
Oh, two concerns at the same table. This is very distressing.
Well, no, it's not me. It's I think that some of your merchants might be, well, a little mutinous. I won't say who, because it's just a vibe I'm getting, but
You are right. You were spot on. Very well observed. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will have to pay them more.
yes. Or maybe at all.
Maybe an extra vacation day.
Do they get any vacation days?
Not yet. Maybe I can give them one. Maybe this will help.
Maybe you'll have less attempts on your life if you
I enjoy those though. They give me they're very humorous, they're entertaining. And I hope you're enjoying the entertainment here tonight. Juggling ogre with other things juggling on his head.
There are other things juggling on his head.
Yes. We're gonna have a theater performance in just a little while, so you stay right in your seats and enjoy. And like I say, our menu, you have 9-course meal, whatever you like. I will leave you to it.
I'm actually feeling a little. I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little queasy. So I don't
not
think I'll be
feeling
able to
well.
enjoy the whole 9 courses. No, that's so sad. I think
yeah.
it's something unsettled me. But it was lovely, and if we could just get an accounting of where we are now.
No problem. He snaps his finger, and a receipt, or like the bill shows up at your table, and it says 3 soul coins. 3 guests, 3 soul coins.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, will we charge for the entire 9 courses?
Yes.
When you sat down?
Yes. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well, but that's the deal. You were here. You had some wine. Yeah,
Well,
I'd be happy to box it up for you in a little dragon bag, doggy bag.
I mean, if we've already paid essentially,
You might as well enjoy. Yeah.
This is too good.
I mean, I guess Atlas could enjoy the show at this point, but could he?
like a goddamn spring. It's like so.
Yeah. So yeah, but this revelation comes upon you, and Mahadi says, "Please, I must go and mingle with the other guests. Lars will take care of all of your needs. He is very good. Ciao." And he meanders back through the crowd of other guests. Pause on that for just a second. Let's go check in with Bryn outside. So you're hunkered down here with Smiler, the Defiler, who is staring.
I'm sorry, what? Smiler, the Defiler?
Yes, that was the long form of his name. Is Smiler the Defiler.
I don't like that.
Better than Chester.
And he is hunkered down right here with you, Bryn. He says, "All right, so what is the plan? What are we doing?"
Get down.
Oh,
Do you know what's in
sorry.
that barrel? That car. That wagon.
That one right
What
there?
wagon does that belong to?
That belongs to Fëanor.
Fëanor. Okay, yes, that was one of the reasons why we're here.
Yeah, that's her custom ride, man. That's the Golden Doom.
Oh, it has a name.
Yeah.
Is there any gold on that?
I don't know. Maybe in the wires or something, like the internal workings of the machine. I'm not so sure. I'm not really good with putting things together, how things work. I'm more of a blow things up kind of guy.
Blow things up. Great. Any chance you could rig something to blow that up?
Oh, hell yeah! You're talking my language! Oh, Bryn, great idea!
One thing. It has to be secret. No one can know. And it has to happen when she's in the vehicle.
Well, that's gonna be tricky, man, because I think if she's in the vehicle, probably it's moving. I could maybe rig something up on a timer kind of thing, or
Yeah. Yes, perfect. I mean,
okay.
I admit I don't have a lot of experience with blowing these things up, but last time
I
did
do
it-
though.
Last time I
When
did
he
it,
met up,
it
he
was-
needed a thing blown up, and here I was.
it's perfect. It's almost as if the gods are smiling upon us, or maybe. And I'm just gesturing at his face.
All
with
right.
this smile.
Well, here's the thing, though, little sis. There's a lot of ghouls hanging out around here. A lot of eyes, even if they're dead eyes. I think they can still see us if we're a little too showy about this. You think maybe will hook me up with a little assist, or?
Oh yeah, of course. And then I cast invisibility on the both of us.
Righteous. And you can see, well, you don't know, but you just get this feeling you hear the little pop that you heard when you teleported, and you just get a sense that maybe he misty stepped over to the vehicle. And some time passes, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then he's back and he's all taken care of, man. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to blow up when it starts up, but it's
okay.
definitely going to happen.
So we should move then.
Well,
let's go.
I think I got the fuse, the timer, if you will, isn't going to start until the thing powers on.
Oh, great. That sounds better, right? Then more distance between us and the explosion.
Yeah, but don't you want to see it when it happens?
Not really.
Well, that's your loss.
Yeah.
I might take a drive out there to go see what happened once she skedaddles.
I'll tell you what. let's go find my friends. We also have one of these war machine things. And once we're all together, then we can. What do you say we tail Fëanor and we can watch the explosion from afar? Deal?
Oh man, Bryn! Wow, this is such a great partnership, you and I. We're gonna work together on like all sorts of projects like this, I hope.
Yeah, I get. Are you looking for any I don't know, like employees? Cuz I'm feeling a vibe here that I don't really have with Black Cloak. No offense to him, but no.
I know that guy is he's no fun at all. He's a big stick in the mud.
Yeah, what is his deal? I'm just
Well,
trying to understand.
he's obsessed with this whole moving up the infernal hierarchy thing. I'm not about that. I'm about living in the moment, living in the present, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to hang out with a gang again. That'd be super awesome.
Okay. And then like the thought through Bryn's head is like he's very useful, but also completely clashes with her personality. She's just realizing that. It's like, okay. Yeah, let's table that discussion.
He's like, all right. We just met. You know, we're still feeling this whole thing out. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. You seem quite helpful. Much more helpful than Blackcloak ever was. But let's go find my friends first.
Sure.
Before we make other decisions.
Snap. He snaps his fingers. Poof, you're like mid sentence, and poof, you're like in seats at the dinner table with the rest of them.
Oof. And you have got to stop doing that. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Right now, sitting down costs souls, just so you know.
Oh, that's fine, Bryn. I got this one. He's just like flipping some soul coins on the table.
Wait, what?
Oh, okay.
How many of those do you have?
I don't know. I think I've got a few left. Once I sell this bad boy, and he like holds up this like mask that like is this ornate dragon looking mask.
Let's not flash that around in here.
Okay,
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of impolite. It's like rude of me to just drop it in. Hey everyone, I'm Smiler. That's
yeah,
my name.
everyone. This
Hello?
is Smiler. This is everyone.
I really, really do like your hair.
Thanks. I like yours too.
Thank you. I've always actually sort of wanted to do that uppy bit. But it's a little inconvenient with helmets. How do you manage?
Well, I just don't wear a helmet, I guess.
Oh, hadn't thought of that. Huh.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're making new friends, yes?
So Smiler, as you have surmised, is the person that the Apishai are after.
Mm-hmm.
He has repaid the favor of us. Well, it's me saving him. So yeah, our task, and I kind of just look around, do like a rubbernecking thing. Our task, I think, is we're set. So let's just get out of here.
Wait. Define set.
Smiler's got it covered. We're good. We just need to get out of here so we're not linked to anything.
I rigged her thing to blow up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Keep it down.
Scarlet. Okay, you know what? Let's go.
So like all of a sudden you just feel like the light in the room is like kind of dimming a little bit, and like a spotlight appears on like a couple of devils that are definitely like very poorly like costumed, and one of them has like kind of these big fake looking like angelic wings on its body and a wig and a little pipe cleaner halo over its head, and it just like comes out and is like, I am Zariel, savior of El Turel. And you can just hear like there's Mahadi's voice like like over everything, and it's just like in appreciation of El Terrell arriving finally here in Avernus, we will tell the story of the cowardly Hell Riders. And there's this like a ooh, and like this really bad like Shakespearean comedy of errors like theatrical performance plays itself out with these like dopey Hell Riders doing like the Three Stooges like routine and like fumbling over each other, while Zariel just is like portrayed as this unwavering warrior that keeps going on, and throughout the performance her minions that are with her, the Hell Riders, keep like fleeing and you know, throwing out like really cheesy dialogue. One of them says, our apologies, Lord Zariel. The horrors of the Nine Hells are too great. We choose to be led by our cowardice. We shall forever hide our dishonor behind the name Hell Rider. And they all like run off stage. And so this like theater production is happening before you.
Miss Evangeline,
Uh-huh.
have you noticed that dinner theater in Hell and dinner theater in Baldur's Gate is exactly the same?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means about dinner theater, but I'm concerned.
I actually
Means
might
that
think
all
this might actually be better. And
all
and
actors
that's
go to hell? Is that
that's fair. That's a fair assessment.
But oh no, wandering monster. Sorry.
I've been watching that countdown timer too.
we deserve it?
Well, I mean, the Hell Riders did sort of fail. I don't know if it was quite that bad.
You see three new characters are showing up. Again, like three barbed devils are in like this ill-fitting armor, helmets that are like comically two times larger than their heads, and they're bonking each other. They're like bumping into each other and doing this Three Stooges kind of thing. And they're just like, Zariel, we, your three most loyal servants, Yale, Haruman, and Olthanius, we remain at your side. Oh, God. Oh, and they're like, you know, just like fighting amongst each other. And Zariel just turns to them with a derisive look, where this character that's playing Zariel. And suddenly, like, there's like a big shift that happens, and like everything fades except like the spotlight on Zariel, who falls to one knee. And there is like a hand that protrudes out of the darkness and rests itself on her shoulder, and it says, it's like suddenly like there's like this serious tone suddenly in this comedy theater, and you hear this voice: "You are doomed and forsaken, Zariel. Doomed and forsaken by your allies. But I, Asmodeus, stand as a friend, though you look at me as a foe. Your righteousness extends towards the demons who delight in chaos and torment the living. I offer you a chance to continue your crusade, but this time in victory." And you can see Zariel like stands up and turns to him, and seems like she kneels in pledging herself to this new character that has come on the scene. And then there's a big fight sequence as Asmodeus hands her this weapon, like a warhammer, and she goes and she starts fighting hordes and hordes of demons, and that all plays out. And then she returns to the character that is playing Asmodeus, and Asmodeus says, Zariel, you have done well, and that should be rewarded. I now shall give you this layer of Avernus to be your own." And he turns to his right, and there's like another character, another winged devil there with a crown on, and Asmodeus turns to him and says, "Bell, we've had some good times, but enough of this!" And he grabs the crown off of Bell's head and puts it on Zariel's head. And you can just see, like, all of a sudden, as that happens, Mahadi, like, jumps up and he's like, "Cut!" And he's like this is some kind of faux pas that happened, that they're making light of Belle so publicly in this performance. And you can see they're like all the actors bow, end scene, and are quickly rushed out of the restaurant.
That was informative on many levels.
Really real.
I feel like it cut short a bit there at the end.
Maybe we could talk to some of the actors and they could tell us what got cut.
Frankly, I don't think we should stay in the Emporium any longer than we need to, especially since there is a solution just in the parking lot.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go.
I will flag down whoever the waiter was.
Yep, he comes lumbering over.
Yeah, could we have the full meal to go?
Sure. He takes your orders and like heads to the back. And moments later, he comes back with all of these like boxed up little meals, one for each of you. And while that's happening, you can see Fenor stands up and just kind of rolls her eyes at everything that she just saw, and is beginning to make her way out of the restaurant. You see Mahadi kind of runs up to her and he's like, "Leaving so soon, my dear? There's so much more. Were you not entertained?" And she's like, you can just see she's like, "Nope, I am done with you. Good day, sir." And he's just kind of like chasing her out into the streets, like pleading for her to stay.
Relationships don't seem to go well here in Avernus.
To be fair, I think she was out of his league too.
It seems to be a common theme around here. So we're going to take our food and walk in the opposite direction of what I assume is going to be something tragic.
Smiler actually is going to respond to that thing that Evangeline just said. He's like, "You think Mahadi is out of her league? Are you nuts? He's a direct representative of Asmodeus."
Personality is.
Oh, maybe.
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe you got a point. I don't know. I can see him both ways.
She's not from here. I don't think the name Asmodeus holds as much weight with her.
Yeah.
Huh?
I know his name,
I think we all know his name.
It should. I mean,
which does sort of rank him higher than her. I don't know her name, or I didn't.
You talking about Fëanor? She's not infernal, man. She's like me.
I mean, I generally prefer the not infernal part. And I mean, she did
Righteous.
upcycle that parasol in ways I've never seen done before.
I think that we need to get out of here.
Oh, yes.
I'm
I just
trying to usher us all into one of those artificial. Well, no, there's eyes and ears everywhere here.
I was just hoping maybe the ogre would come back and
The juggling.
yeah.
We'll always have the memories, Aplos, and I'm like trying to push us out. I want to get us into our war machine. 'Cause
Okay.
It's probably the only place that isn't bugged.
Yeah. So, like, you start to make your way out, and before you're stopped by the devil who seated you, the host, and he says, and he, Smiler and Bryn kind of showed up later, so it's still like the same bill. The 3 soul coins is what
Oh, yes.
I turn to our new friend Smiler and say, would you mind? You were so generous before.
Well, not to be too rude, man, but you kind of weren't really helping me out back there. But Bryn, I'm happy to help her out and spot her. I was getting kind of beat up.
Fair, our friend Aplos really did want to help you. So and he's a little squeamish with swallowing. So if you would help him, I think it'd be appreciated.
Yeah, I like you guys and all, but what have you done for me lately, right? I mean, come on.
Aplos, dear.
So like he sadly unlimbers the two-handed sword and he opens the case and he sorts through and he gets out the 3 soul coins and he sets them down and he takes a few gold coins and puts them aside for the ogre and then he sets his thing.
Hey, wait. We were going to save those. Applos.
If we don't spend them, we're probably going to end up just like the unionizers here.
Unless there's another way out that doesn't involve.
But we can earn them back.
Bryn turns around and looks back at the stage. He looks back at the stage and then turns back to everyone and says, okay, fine, let's just get out of here.
So you paid, the devil lets you go, and you exit out into the street. Smiler is still like following along with you.
As he should.
And
where did you get that cloak?
I think I got it from home like a long time ago. It's stood up like surprisingly well these past few hundred years.
Oh.
I mean, I kind of spruce it up with things that I find out on the road, the salvage and whatnot,
It looks very good. I'm rather impressed. I've been thinking about adopting something along those lines myself in the future, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it with the armor yet. And he's just sort of babbling as he goes along.
Oh, and he's just like, yeah, we can suit you up with a killer set of armor, man. Like, that's no problem. I'm happy to help you out. And you're making your way, it sounds like you're making your way out to where the infernal war machines are.
Yes.
And you're making your way out there, and you can see all of like the over by Fenor's demon grinder, all of the ghouls are climbing on board with her, and getting into the different like compartments, the different weapons, operating the ball and chain on the back, the battering ram at the front, and the steering, and like she kind of gets into hers actually has like an inner compartment where she secures herself away, and thing gets fired up, and you can see it starting to heat up the engines.
So are we following to be sure, or?
Yeah, I kind of promised Smiler that he could get a seat at the show. But far away.
Well, okay.
Any other promises made without my oversight?
Yes, I think I sold Aplos' soul for a bag of holding.
Ouch.
I'm just joking. Come on, it's not me.
Ouch.
Let's just get in the war machine.
Yes.
So you're all piling in your machine, and Smiler, you see him. He goes over to like this bike kind of thing that's it's kind of similar to what Black Cloak was riding, and off you go, operating at a safe enough distance that you feel like, chewy, fly casual, but not too casual kind of thing. And you make your way out into the rough, dry terrain of Avernus. crimson red skies overhead. You kind of feel like you drive for some distance. You were kind of maybe expecting it to blow up already, and you can see like Smiler's just like eyes glued on the horizon, just like he can't wait till this happens. Anything that you want to do or conversations that you want to have as you're driving on out there, you could have at this point.
Yeah. Can
I'm
I?
gonna ask Bryn.
Yeah.
Like, how did you like team up with this? Like, what is his experience? How do we trust that he's actually going to be able to do this explosion? Are we just driving off to our doom? You know.
He says he knows Mad Maggie and Black Cloak. So I think that's a plus. Also, he mentioned something about, or the Abishai mentioned, "Hey, Smiler!" And I'm just like yelling out into the wind to try to get his attention while we're riding. Why were they beating you up? What's the mask? They said something about a mask?
And I was just trying to see, can he like speak to you telepathically or anything? So no, he's just shouting this. He's just shouting. What's that?
Get out of my head.
Yeah. No, he has to verbally say, he's just like, "Oh, I found this red dragon mask and they really want it. I think it has something to do with Tiamat."
Oh, shut
He's just saying like all of this like into the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no more questions for him until we're somewhere we can talk face to face.
Where did you get it?
No.
Bryn!
I found it. Isn't it crazy? It's
What does it
old
do?
I don't know. I hope I find out when you learn these secrets together, Bryn. It'll be so much fun.
I'm like jerking the wheel on the war machine to try and get Bryn to lose her balance and just like fall to the floor.
I just followed you.
Oh my god,
So,
I'm in hell.
you're driving. You're out. You're going for quite a while when suddenly the atmosphere in front of you like lights up. Big orange demonstrative fireball. You see pieces of like iron and metal kind of flying off. You can see the zombies and the ghouls that were up on the turrets of the harpoon guns. They go flying and diving and right off the sides of the thing. Just it's like fishtailing and like it's digging itself into the earth when time stops. And you can see that Fenor had actually been thrown up, and you could see her little parasol goes up. She's just cast Time Stop, and like Mary Poppins, is just hovering down on the ground, and her eyes narrowed out at your vehicle.
I immediately fishtail U-turn, and we're heading back to Fort Knucklebone.
Time Stop.
No,
Time stop. We can't.
We're in it too. No! This is how we die.
And she's just kind of like observing everything that's happened. Like her vehicle, like you can tell, like enough of the explosion has happened that it's gonna be totaled, and everyone on board of that except for her is still alive. You can see her dress like is in tatters. She must have had some kind of protectional wards or things up on herself that have more or less protected her. And I have to roll a d4 right now to see what happens next.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Time unfreezes and you're driving, right? So this is good for you because her next move is that she casts a spell that opens up a crater kind of like directly in front of your vehicle. And Lorem, you're at the helm, you're driving. You're going to have to make a pretty quick kind of maneuver here to try to avoid this massive hole that she's trying to engulf your vehicle in. Let me just see. Does anybody remember, was there guidance on that? I was going to say it's going to be a dexterity check. I think that's what I'm going to say is a dexterity check.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it a check against magic?
No, it's a check
Ah.
to it's to physically try to drive this thing out and around.
It's better than average.
Oh,
So, you end up kind of biffing it. It was a sudden hole, like right in front. Like it would have been, you had to make some fancy, NASCAR kind of stuff to happen to make this spin around this. It doesn't total your vehicle, but you get lodged. Like the vehicle gets stuck and kind of, wheels are not touching ground, that kind of thing. And at this point, I'm going to introduce the wandering monster.
oh fuck.
Wait, no, this could be a good thing, maybe?
I like your optimism, but
Stir the pot.
There have been a couple of times where the wandering monster has been a good thing, but maybe not in this case. You see
this isn't one of them.
off in the distance another vehicle driving into view. So I'm going to put us into initiative. I didn't exactly know if we were going to get to this point or what this. So you got to bear with me as I have to set up our initiative tracker a little bit. And in fact, maybe we take like a 5-minute break here, just to let you all take a break. Audience, thanks for hanging out with us. Pay the toll. You'll have to stick around so you can see what's driving into the scene here. But yeah, we'll be back in like about 5 minutes or so. So hang out with us just a little bit longer while we take our break. We're back. If you missed what just happened, our party is back in the Infernal War Machine, and they were after their target, dealing with one of the warlords of Avernus, a necromancer named Feanor, who is the former paramour of Black Cloak, who owns a sole contract out on Bryn. But they came out here to deal with Feanor at his bequest in exchange for releasing the souls of the children of El Terrell, whose souls he also has captured. They had met a kooky Fey Eladrin man named Smiler the Defiler, who in a chance meeting with Bryn made a new friend, and seems that he's one for some wanton destruction, and knew something about setting that up with this vehicle that she had. So they concocted a plan to kind of rig it to explode after a time, after it had the ignition running for a while, and it has. Unfortunately, Feanor is quite formidable and was able to cast a time stop to prepare herself a bit for the onslaught. So basically, her vehicle has been destroyed, and as the party had been driving, some distance away, she popped a spell to create a crater that is kind of caught up their war machine, and so they're, staring at each other across a gauntlet, a distance of, we'll say 150 feet between you and her. Neither of you having vehicles. You have Smiler the Defiler, who is on his bike, still on a vehicle. As you see, we had a wandering monster get donated to us, if you want to phrase it that way. It was donated to us by the audience. So we're going to add in another vehicle that is on the periphery coming in. It looks sort of like this. Not as large as the demon grinder that you or her had. It looks like maybe there could be 4 creatures total manning this thing, a driver, and then it also has a harpoon flinger, a single one similar to the one that was on your ship. So a little bit different of a vehicle, but it is coming into the scene, and you don't really know what it is all about. But it is, I don't know, some 500 feet away from the scene. So that's where we're going to start out. Fenor has taken her turn. This vehicle is moving closer to you. And it is now, some, we'll say, like 300 feet away, getting closer. Anything Imsum wants to do?
Did we have time for me to resummon Imsum? It's an hour to cast.
Yeah, I assume you could have done that at some point back at the
Okay.
Emporium.
Great. I think Imsum has learned his lesson and is going to stay invisible next to me.
Awesome.
Or rather, hopes that Bryn has learned her lesson and is staying next to Bryn so as to not avoid blowing up.
Yeah, that sounds good. Vehicle is still out there. Smiler the Defiler. We'll flip him green. He's a friendly now. He's on his bike and he's just like, Bryn, I'm gonna go see what this other vehicle's all about. I'm gonna deal with him for you, buddy. And his bike goes screaming off in that distance. You can see he pulls out like a vial of that green, that demon ichor, and you see him like open up a little like the gas hatch or whatever in the back, and he plugs that in, and you can just see this green flame like shoot out the back of the thruster, and he goes squealing off at like twice the speed in that direction, making up the gap. Lorem, it is your turn.
So our demon grinder is like in a ditch.
Yeah,
basically.
it's like tipped over, wheels just spinning.
Okay.
Not totaled, but it's gonna take some effort
Stuck.
to get this unstuck. Yeah.
Take some effort. I am going to. As a bonus action, give inspiration to Aplos, who was our big strong man, and I'm going to hold my action with the intent to help whoever tries to help get our demon grinder upright.
Like,
Like, is it going to be like a thing where I have to like do some weird things with revving the engine, or is it just like tipped?
like it's in this pit like sideways, so it's probably going to be more than just let's lift with our knees. You're probably gonna have to like rig something up, like think tractor tipped over in the ditch. Maybe that's a Wisconsin thing. I don't know. That's what I think of when I'm thinking of this scene.
Outside of scope of combat.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think a simple lift is gonna be able to move, a tank probably.
Okay. In that.
And sorry. Thank
ahead.
you for the follow, Jazinova. Huzzah! Thank you. We appreciate that.
I'm still going to give inspiration to Aplos. And I don't know what to do. I guess I'm not going to do anything at this point because Feanor is like way off in the distance, right?
150 feet.
Yeah. So there's nothing I can do right now.
All right. Evangeline, it is your turn.
So, I think I am kind of weighing my options here, and I think I'm just gonna go with this, but it might end very badly for everyone. So, okay, I am going to take on the persona of Mahadi, and I guess with my actual, I
But
guess the
how?
action.
You're a rogue.
Oh, what can I do? Little elven girl. Yeah. So I can change my appearance. And I am going to do so. So I'm going to change appearance to look like Mahadi, and then I'm also going to say to. Oh, go ahead.
No, go. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to tell everyone else. So play along.
Okay. Give me a deception check.
All right.
All right. We will see what happens with that. So Pruno just awarded inspiration to Lorem. All right. Next up. Next up is Bryn's turn.
Okay. And so we see this demon grinder coming in the distance, or how many?
You see this like the other vehicle, the Tormentor, the little 4-person one. I would say from your give me a maybe just an intelligence check.
Yeah, I'm great at those. Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure what its aim is. It hasn't come close enough that you're really able to predict its behavior, what it's up to.
Okay. But it's obvious it's coming our way.
Yeah.
Okay. I will just take a hold action and ready if there's any hostility towards us, shots fired, I'll Eldritch Blast in that direction.
Sounds good.
And did I see Evangeline turn into Mahadi?
I think so, because I think she's trying to clue you all in.
Yeah, I told you guys. I kind of made it a note to all of y'all, just like play along with this.
Okay. What? All right. That's my turn.
All right. Aplos, you're up next.
So Aplos is like clambering out from like where the wrecking ball is in the carnage. And he's like, Stevia, are you okay? And the Hailhound's like, woof, and jumps out. And then he grabs his longbow. He turns around to look, and he looks down at Evangeline / Mahadi's like, does that mean shoot or don't shoot?
Don't shoot yet.
Oh.
Ready your action. Ready.
Okay. So then he will ready an action to shoot with his longbow and be like, okay. Seems a bit late. But that'll be that. And he will try and stay in his cover position that the kind of now sideways vehicle provides.
Yeah, you could easily find areas of the craft to get like 3/4 cover from her vantage point. So it becomes her turn. And she sees what looks to be Mahadi in the distance. and she teleports over right next to you. And you can just see like her eyes are just kind of inky black, and her skin is like you can see like necrotic veins kind of pouring up her arms, and there's like this chill of death that just clings to the air like around her. And she looks down at you and she says, Did you do this to me, Mahadi? After all of these professions of your love? Is how you show it?
Can I respond?
Yeah, I think we're doing a role play thing with
Okay.
this right here right now, so we could
So,
play
I'll-
with the initiative rules a bit.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Master of Intrigue to have Mahadi's voice as well. And I'll say, "Oh, no, my dear. No, see, the thing is that I saw that there was something happening, an attack on you, and so I gathered these wonderful people here, and they rushed me to you to try to protect you and save you, but we were too late, and oh, my dear, are you okay?"
Make a I think another deception check.
Alright.
You've deceived her that she believes you're him. Now
Okay.
you have to convince her that you were out here to
Alright.
save her.
I'm going to use my advantage or my inspiration.
Your
for
inspiration?
this.
Okay.
Yes.
Good idea.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Here's what I'll do. I'll make it an opposed check. So you beat hers. And she says, and she turns and she looks out at where Smiler the Defiler is. And she says, I know who did this. And if you want to prove your love for me, you will deal with him.
Oh, absolutely, my dear. I have anything that you could need. Who would hurt you like this?
And she points out at the bike that's running laps around the other the vehicle out there. So I think that's probably like the extent of what happens in that like initiative bit there. The vehicle that is out there is going to drive forward. And it gets real close. It gets real close to the bike that Smiler is currently on. Just let me know if like there's anything you want to do with Imsum other than it
Sounds good.
near you. So you can see that the vehicle like shoots a javelin out at his vehicle, at Smiler's vehicle. I'm just gonna do it kind of manual. Going to hit his vehicle just barely, but do some damage to it. So you can see Harpoon kind of gets stuck in like one of the kind of superficial like metal pieces of his bike, but does damage nonetheless. And then Smiler takes his turn. You can see him casting some spells upon the vehicle. And one of the spells he's going to cast is Tasha's Hideous Laughter at the driver. But unfortunately, they save. So they're out maybe like, I don't know, we'll say like 200 feet or so. This battle, this ring around the rosy kind of game that the two vehicles out there are doing is happening. Lorem, it is your turn.
I am going to see this little game that we're playing right now, and I'm going to turn to Aplos and go, well, you heard the man. After him, and kind of like pretend to be supervisor and like point Aplos in the direction of that battle and like give him a shove. And I will, as a bonus action, give Evangeline inspiration as well.
Sounds good. Evangeline.
Dang it. All right. So I'm going to turn to my beloved bear and say, "Oh, I think we need to be righted before we can really do much to go after him. Is there anything you can do to get us out of this ditch?"
Make a persuasion check.
All right.
You have inspiration.
I do have inspiration, but I'm also just very persuasive.
Very good at it.
Very good.
Okay, you can see that she's considering what you are saying.
And otherwise we just have a few bows.
She's just like, do I have to do everything in this relationship?
Oh, my love, you are so giving.
Make me vomit, Mahadine. It is now Bryn's turn.
Yeah, okay, let's go after him, and I will hop in the javelin spot.
Okay, getting ready to. Hopefully, she's gonna lift this thing out.
Yeah.
Aplos.
So confused right now.
You and me both.
Aplos will nod and take position again. Put his longbow away and take position again with the wrecking ball.
Okay, you're in position, and it becomes Feanor's turn, and she casts a essentially like a telekinesis spell. And the vehicle lifts itself up, and she places it down Yoda style, like right next to the crater. All of the wheels are flush with the ground. And then she's just like looking at Evangeline, like, okay, anytime now.
All right, well, let's go. Thank you so much.
And vehicles out in the distance driving around. Again, another one tries to take a shot at Smiler's bike, and is going to hit, dealing 10 points of damage. You can see sparks are flying, and he's kind of losing control of it a bit. And you can just hear him like, "Oh, gee, that's not good, man! Oh, God! I think I can only take maybe one more of these!" And then Smiler is again, he's casting spells. You see him cast, he's trying a suggestion spell at the driver of the vehicle. Which that didn't work. There we go. Ooh, you can see he's like pumping his arm. He's like, "I did it! I freaking did it! Oh my God!" He's just driving around and celebrating a minor victory. That you can see the vehicle suddenly like does like a 180 and like is peeling away, like, and driving like away from him. Lorem, it is your turn.
I am going to fire up the demon grinder and just point us directly at Smiler and punch it.
Okay. So
The driver's seat also operates like the actual demon grinder part, right?
yes,
Like
but
the front.
you have you have to choose. So like your action like right now would be like
Yeah, I'm
Firing
preparing to pull that lever when we get there.
okay. Sounds good. Evangeline, it's your turn. So vehicle goes and is like half the distance it needs to be away from where the Tormentor and Smiler the Defiler are.
Okay, so I'm not in harpoon range yet, or am I? Can I shoot a harpoon from here?
You can shoot a harpoon. I think it's 120 feet, if I remember.
And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot a harpoon, and I'm going to kind of pretend like I'm shooting at the people flying away, but it's going at Smiler. So we're doing
All
this.
right.
So what do I roll? I just roll it into the chat, right?
Yeah, you can just roll me a d20.
Okay.
Now, are you shooting him or the bike?
Oh, I'm just shooting him.
Okay.
And I don't know if I get any advantages or anything.
You're gonna hit him.
Okay.
You roll 2d8. I want to say.
All right. Oh, fuck.
He was already kind of beat up from earlier when he was getting attacked by the Abishai. There was no like rest or anything in there. So harpoon goes sailing and like spikes him in the back, and like he loses control of his vehicle and like falls down and is on the ground. Is suggestion a concentration spell?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think once
Okay.
it lands, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay,
They just have to do the action.
gotcha. So he's down on the ground. His bike spins out and is just a crumpled mess on the ground.
It is concentration. Sorry,
Oh, it is.
So
it
Is
is
it?
up
Huh?
to 8 hours, but it is concentration.
All right.
So he does a concentration check, which he fails. You can see the Tormentor
Oh, no.
spins around, coming your way. It
Okay.
is yeah, let's see. I just have to see which Mezzoloth I'm on. Okay. Not quite yet. Bryn, it is your turn.
Great. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna throw some Eldritch Blasts at the Tormentor. Can I target the pilot?
You can. They have got some cover, just the same as your pilot does there.
Right. Let's do that. Which Metzaloth is that?
It would be number 2.
Okay, number 2. I'll just let you apply the
Yeah.
okay. And then you have to, yeah, it's
That-
a miss.
That'll miss.
Second one.
Ooh. That will just hit.
All right. That will just hit.
Yeah, when they've got 3/4 cover and things like that on the inside of the ship, they're tough to hit.
Sure. So I throw off 2 Eldritch Blasts and then I just scream into the wind. What's our plan here?
Sounds good. Aplos, it is your turn.
So Aplos is very torn right now. And he looks kind of behind him towards Miss Bryn. Do you remember those toys, the ball and cup toys? I was thinking perhaps something like that.
Come again?
And he looks back sort of like where he thinks like Bryn is standing here and then Miss Evangeline's over there and maybe standing tall in the middle is the person we want to squish. But no. Whoop.
Just do it. Just do it.
Well, hold on. Fëanor is not on your ship.
Oh, she's not on the ship. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was misimagining.
Sorry.
Where's
just
Fëanor?
she was just standing nearby the ship when you all hopped on.
That all right, got it. Well, then I suppose he'll just ready in action that when we get close enough he hits the tormentor with the wrecking ball.
Sounds
that'll
good.
be-
Nice and
Yes.
morally, neutral. Just hit the bad guys. It's good.
The other vehicle comes right up alongside yours.
Aplos will try and whack it when he gets the chance.
Yes, you've got the readied action, so go ahead.
So he will try and hit it. And he gets a 14, and he will throw, because he remembers these things are hard to hit, the inspiration from Lorem behind it. Is that a D8 now,
Yes.
Lorem?
Yes.
So that's 16 plus, I think, 9?
Demon Grinder, Wrecking Ball +9.
Plus 9. So a 25.
That'll hit.
Woo! And that was 8 D8s. Where'd my little sheet go? Come back, little sheet. Wrecking Ball. 8 of the
8
D8s.
Hey.
+4 is 48.
Plus 4, so 48 points of damage. Gong.
And you can see it rocks this little vehicle. Big hole ripped right through. It just kind of like crushes like the top of this thing. Gets peeled off. Jagged metal and steel sticking up and out. And that is that. One of the creatures that is its harpoon gun is shooting at you all, taking a shot actually at your driver.
Not the driver.
So Lorem, you got +5 to your AC, and this just doesn't even hit the vehicle. You kind of maneuver and dodge out of the way of the shot. Smiler the Defiler is down on the ground, and he's just like looking up, and you can see his eyes. He's like hurt, and his smile is still there, but he's just like, I thought we were cool. What's going on? And he's like looking. He's just like dejected. And he's standing over by his bike, and he's like kicking it. He's like, man. Lorem, it's your turn.
I am going to okay. Am I within 60 feet of the driver of their vehicle?
Yeah, like you're like neck and neck
Right on him?
now. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to attempt to cast command. Which Mezzaloth is it?
The driver is number 2.
Number 2.
He saved.
Okay. All right, and then for my bonus action, Bryn, are you still feeling okay?
Yep, perfect. Fine.
Then I will. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Sounds good. Evangeline, it is your turn.
All right, so Smiley's up and just standing there, but like he's currently conscious and everything.
Yeah, he's just kicking his bike,
All right. And
trying to understand what's just happened.
okay. And Benora sees.
She's watching,
she's
like
watching. She's
off
watching what we're doing.
Hundreds of feet
Yeah,
back.
she's hundreds of feet back though. So she like, if I said something to, is he close enough that I can say something to him, or is he like?
You guys are like engaged with the other vehicle at this point, and you biffed him like.
Yeah, I biffed him. So he's
there's
like
some
back, so he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like back in the back, so we can't really do anything to him right now. Okay.
Any verbal communication that you send out will be perceived by somebody because you'll have to yell it for him to hear.
I have to scream.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna ignore him then and just try to harpoon these guys beside us. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Are you striking the vehicle or?
Yeah, I'm trying. For this one, I'm trying to. Yeah, probably the vehicle for this. So let me actually use my inspiration too if I need to. Okay.
That'll definitely hit. Then it's 2d8 plus 2, I think. Demon Grinder, Harpoon, 2d, or it's just straight 2d8.
2d8, okay.
So 9 points.
Yeah.
It is still running, but you can see it's just like sparks are flying, fireballs are kind of shooting out of the front of this thing. It's one more direct hit, and this thing is gonna go kapooey. Let's see. One of the Mesolos kind of like shoots itself up out of the vehicle and is flying above you all, and casts a cloud kill spell. Just like right on top of the vehicle, in the space that you currently are. So right now, while you're in this cloud, your vision is heavily obscured. When you start your turn here, you will have to make a Constitution saving throw or suffer some poison damage. I think that's more or less. Basically, this thing is not going to be last. I'm not even going to read the rest of the spell because you're very quickly going to escape it, but you might momentarily get hit with the effects of it. So Bryn, it's going to start out your turn. Constitution saving throw. You make the save, so it'll be half.
And they also have resistance against magical damage.
The Metzlots or?
No, our team.
From your aura?
From my aura, yep.
So half of 20 would be 5, so you'll take 5 points.
Okay. I don't like that. All right. I'm going to fire off my Eldritch Blasts at that Metzloth then.
Okay. Disadvantage. Unless you've got Devil's Sight? Or
I do have Devil's Sight.
Okay, so you'd be able to see.
Magical and non-magical darkness. But this is a cloud though,
This
right?
is a cloud, yeah.
I couldn't see through that. Okay. Can I see through it? Like, can I see anything through it right now?
Just maybe like it's like a really opaque kind of gas, so very vague kind of landmarks. You know, like you saw where it like shot up, so you've got a chance at disadvantage to Eldritch Blast it.
That's fair. I will do that. Was that 3? That's a lot 3.
Yes, yep.
Disadvantage.
That's a hit.
Nice.
And potential chance to break the concentration. Nope, not on that one.
All right, second one, still at disadvantage. No good. Okay, and then Bryn will call out to Impson. Impson, go find Smiler. And that will be it, I guess.
All right.
He can talk. He has languages too, so he will
Yeah,
be
and he shares a language with Smiler, so they can talk Infernal,
All
I think. Aplos, it is your turn.
So Aplos will choke on the horrible gas, and hopefully not die. He probably passes whatever the gas damage is.
Yes, and
And
so half of half will be 7.
got it. And then he will use his chat room bought inspiration to try and swing at the tormentor. Inspiration and regular cancels out, so just a regular attack. Did that roll?
I didn't see it.
Roll.
Oh,
Nah. That's a miss.
Wait, were you using inspiration, did you say? From the chat?
Yes. Inspiration, but he's blind, so
Got
right?
it. Yeah.
Just a woof.
Sounds good. Another one of the Mezzolofts pops out of the vehicle there. And flies into the cloud. And gonna drop randomly on one of y'all. It's gonna be Aplos. So Aplos, poof, you can see it's heavily obscured, but like in that obscurity, you see the thing right 5 feet in front of you. So he's gonna take a couple claw attacks at you. Or claw and a trident. He's got a trident. First attack misses. Second attack with the trident is a 22.
That'll hit.
5 points of damage. Feanor is, you see her like she's walking towards Smiler and like is misty stepping along the way to get closer to him. And you see her cast a nothing quite yet, but she's like sparks. She's like switching between all of her tools that she's thinking about. There's like lightning crackling in her fingertips, and then balls of fire. She's getting ready to. You've convinced her that Smiler is the one that trying to kill her, so she's gonna go over there and finish him off.
To be fair, accurate. So.
Mr. Lorum, maybe try to run her over.
The Mezzoloth in this vehicle that's driving is gonna peel away, and yeah, just the vehicle is peeling away from you all. A trident is going to come your way at disadvantage through the cloud. Just at your vehicle, I think. Hits.
No, our grinder.
Doing Total of six. What? No damage.
Did it not get over the threshold?
Oh, that's what it is. Yep. So it just dings off of your armor, no effect. Smiler the Defiler sees Feanor coming closer, and he's freaking out a little bit, but he sees this as like the last ride, perhaps, for him. He pulls out his short sword, and he just goes kind of running forward and is wildly hacking and slashing in her direction. And you can see she like casts like a shield spell to like block a lot of this, but one of his attacks actually gets through, and he strikes at her and does damage. So that's that, and then we turn to Lorem. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I am a dwarf, so I have advantage on anything doing with this is poison, right?
This is poison. Yep.
Yes. Ugh.
You have resistance to the damage, though.
Yes, I do. I'm not a very good dwarf, y'all. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
But it's a really low roll, so you take 6
But
points
I
of
also-
poison damage.
But I get half of half because of Apollos' aura.
Nah, you don't have stacking resistance.
Oh.
You get 1 resistance.
Okay. Right. So what was the total damage?
6 points.
6 points.
Total is 12.
Yeah.
So it is your turn. One way or another, your vehicle is coming out of the gas cloud on your turn.
I'm going to swing us around, like to do circle around to do another pass. And while we're doing that, I want to see, like, would I have known that Smiler hit Feanor?
Sure. You can see
About
if you're
how
spinning this
hard
around,
did-
you can see that happening.
About how hard did that look like that hit? Was that like dink nothing, or did that look like it took some measure of damage?
He
Yeah,
landed
she-
a blow and she took damage.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
On a scale of 1 to
Whatever. I am. This night has already been crazy, so why not? I'm gonna swing us around and I'm gonna aim the demon grinder at her.
All right.
moment of truth.
She is going to have to do a dexterity saving throw,
Drive casual.
which she makes.
Oh.
So
Still half damage.
that's what I'm looking at. It doesn't look like it's half. So it's this is actually it's like you either crush them or they dodge out of the way kind of thing. So you make the pass, and
My bonus action is to look like I'm sorry, I was aiming for him, and then like swerve a bit so it looks like I'm doing a bad job.
okay. I'm gonna say as much as you try that, I'm not gonna provide a skill check on that one probably.
Yeah.
Evangeline, it is your turn. The jig is up.
Is it totally up? Like she's like for sure.
Oh
like,
yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
You've
Okay,
talked with her.
so,
She's no
so
fool.
now, okay, so I'm gonna try to just harpoon her, obviously. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going with. So harpoon it is.
Hey!
That'll hit.
All right.
2d8.
All right.
Everybody knows that wizards have a weakness to harpoons.
Well established.
Yeah.
Common knowledge, really. There's nursery rhymes about it, you know.
So you can hit her, and you can tell, like, your harpoon doesn't, like, pierce through her body or pierce through her skin. You can tell, like, she winces as it hits her, but it's almost like it goes flying forth and, like, hits rock or something like that. So she doesn't take all of the damage that you were hoping for, but is wounded nonetheless.
Yikes.
One of the Mesolos that's hovering about. This was the one that cast Cloud Kill earlier. It's just you all were on the vehicle that like sped away, so it's like flying, maybe to try to catch up to y'all. Bryn, it is your turn.
Oh boy. Okay. The jig is up. So I guess I'm gonna just fire some Eldritch Blasts at Feanor then. This isn't at disadvantage or anything. It's just a roll.
Just a roll.
Just a roll.
Straight. That'll hit. 8 points of damage.
Second one.
She gets knocked away by the Eldritch Blast.
He does, yes. Second one. That's a miss. All right.
You know what, Evangeline? I forgot that harpoon is we established it was a magical thing, so she would have taken actually the full on that.
Oh, great.
Oh!
Yay!
Oh, goody!
Hurrah!
Yeah, so okay, second Eldritch Blast missed. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, Bryn?
No.
Aplos.
So Aplos has got like the demon in front of him. He's like holding his shield up, and with his other hand, he's like smacking at the stick, trying to get the wrecking ball to swing around and catch Feanor as she's rolling out from underneath the wheels. So he's going to try Feanor with the wrecking ball.
Sounds good.
And an 18 plus 9 is a 27.
Oh yeah.
And that's 8d8, and he will throw the smite on that one to make it 11d8.
Does that also turn it holy?
It does do some radiant, but I don't know if that works against.
She's not any kind of infernal. She's a fae. I don't know if you got to think if it.
I was hoping she was partly undead at this point, being necromancer.
No, she's not a lich or anything like that.
Thank God.
Yeah, that many's.
Whoa!
Plus 4, so 62 magical and some radiant damage.
You go ahead and you sum up what happens as this veritable wrecking ball comes in and flings her into the horizon.
Oh!
So I think that's what it was. Is she dove, to get out of the way of the wheels, and she was just getting up, and then Bryn kind of set her up, kind of popped her up a little bit, moved her back right in the way of the swing, and the wrecking ball just at full speed because the vehicle's going that way, the wrecking ball's coming around, and just like missed, just like a little bit of, gray.
It was the perfect volleyball setup.
It was.
Bryn was the center.
Bump set.
Yeah.
And then Aplos is like, that was. Oh.
Well,
So gotta-
as that happens, this one that you have been dealing with is just like watching her fly away, and it's like, nope, and it goes flying the other way. All of the Mesolos get like on the vehicle again, which has been banged up so much. Evangeline, you're what probably ends up happening is Evangeline, go ahead, make an attack roll with your harpoon if you want to try to get them on the escape here.
Can I donate my inspiration?
Sure. Yeah, I'll say yes to that.
Oh, Lauren, mutie.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
Okay, so is that just a bardic inspiration, or do you have?
No, that
actual-
was a DM inspiration. That was
All
chat
right.
inspiration.
All right. Well, I think it got stuck up there at the top. Hold on, I gotta roll
That's
it
what
again.
mine did. It rolled all the way up at the top and stayed there.
Yeah, it was a 19, but it got stuck, and then it was a 12.
So +5 to
17.
that is not going to do it, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, up to you if you want to go chasing them through Avernus, or if you think it's worth it to let them go.
I think they can just. What's everyone thinking? I think let them go.
They'll tell the tale of our glorious victory.
They
Yeah.
will. They will.
Yeah, Bryn is
also-
just weeping and hollering right now.
Also, Mr. Smiler looks a little rough.
Yeah, let's go help him, and I'll apologize
Yes.
profusely.
Yeah, after Feanor gets like punted, Bryn's just gonna shout, "Black Cloak sends his regards." Probably loud enough so that maybe the Meslots can hear and spread the word of Black Cloak's growing power.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
They definitely, you get the sense that that they heard that and kind of do a double take, like what? Like this was like the craziest thing. Like you came out of nowhere, like Mahadi was a piece of this, Smiler was there, but then like Black Cloak, what? What is this?
The cookie guy?
So whatever story they're going around telling everyone, it's like each one of them is going to have a different version of that story.
It begins.
Yes. Excellent.
So, out of combat, out of initiative, yeah, Smiler is just kind of like, you all like drove past and like took her out with the wrecking ball, and he's just like in a dazed kind of like, whoa.
Have you been down here long enough that healing you would hurt you?
No, some healing would be very well appreciated, my friend.
Oh,
Hey, you guys shot me! What was that about?
I'm sorry. I'm going to turn back into my Evangeline form. Like, I'm so sorry, dear. I was aiming for your bike to be beside it to make it look realistic, and I'm not a very good aim. I'm terribly sorry, but we had to sell that we were on her side.
I gotcha. It was a ruse. That's awesome.
Yes, precisely. But we'll
Method
pull you
acting.
up.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I guess I didn't realize that was part of the plan. Maybe I spaced out sometimes. I've got big gaps in my memory all over my life. So
Well,
that's probably my bad, I guess.
Been swimming lately, have you?
oh. And he'll do the lay on hands and like 15 points.
Sounds good. Yeah, you see he's kind of feeling a little bit better. He's like, man, the fireworks were awesome. You guys, I can't believe that worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
All part of the plan, and I'm just as shocked as everyone, but I'm completely bluffing over it.
It went swimmingly, and we can go back and tell Black Hook and Mad Maggie that problem is solved. So, do you want to come with, or can we drop you off somewhere? What's your plans?
Well, my bike is all jacked up now. I think maybe we can like load this up on your rig and head back there. I'd like to get some repairs done. I'll go with you guys if that's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, of course.
If anyone can do
course.
repairs, it'd be Mad Maggie.
Yes. Though, We will need soul coins.
Yeah, we're kind of low on gas.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not a freeloader. I'll pay you guys. Like, can I give you just like 1 coin? I think for the
That's
trip,
enough to get back home.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we just have to keep the fires going so the souls inside to have some hope.
Right. Like hope is what it's all about, man. And he like, totally doesn't understand what you're saying, but he likes the sentiment, so he's like, yeah. It gives you a soul coin, so whoever has taken that can add a soul coin to the inventory.
I'll take that and I'll pop it right into the tank because we were at like a fourth of a tank when this all started. Surprised we made it this far.
Sounds good. So if I'm understanding the concept that the party has, you're trying to like, you're basically trying to like just use like a portion of these coins, right? And like pop it, like recover the coin, like put another one in.
So
to like not totally use up a single coin.
Just
Right.
shove it in the
Yeah,
slot.
we don't want
I
to
don't
go
know
all
what
the way
anyone
down
else
to
is
E.
doing.
Yeah, we want to like leave just enough of each coin that they could potentially in some
Right.
way be salvaged at the end.
And kind of the way, like, from what I read of this mechanics and kind of what I'm inventing that's completely maybe very wrong, is as long as the fire doesn't go out, the souls aren't completely exhausted. So if we keep the souls fed, then we're just building up a number of weaker souls in there that if we eventually get the release, it releases all of them. And he's hoping it's not a sequential thing where they die one at a time.
It's like
So
a-
like he's
I don't
like,
have like a defined idea of like how this works, but the concept that we're going with is that you pop the coin in and like it starts up the engine and it gets fired up and the soul is in there until the engine like goes completely out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically his idea, if we keep feeding the engine, there's more and more of them in there, but if that means we can save all of them, or we run out of gas and they all poofed.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
where the
I
garden
just-
wall with the lantern, like
With the
you gotta
lantern,
have
that's
the
exactly what was.
yeah.
You got to keep feeding the lantern.
It's like mixing different liquids together so that each of the separate liquids all get mingled together and less of each is being consumed.
But as long as there's still some.
Gotcha. So I just wanted to have some kind of condition, like there's like a thing that we are,
Yeah. So if it
there's
goes
a
out,
potential for a
yes.
bad thing to happen that you
Right.
don't want to have happen. So yeah, okay, you pop in Smiler's thing, you see the gas tank like goes to full or whatever, and you go shooting off into the distance and making your way back to the scrapyard of Bone Knuckle.
Knucklebone.
Knucklebone.
There it is.
Reversed it.
Knucklebone Fort. So that's probably a good place to end it. You have successfully defeated Fëanor, the Necromancer, the
Shockingly.
ex lover of Black Cloaks.
And now the ex-lover of Mahdi.
Also, while we're
He
driving
never
off-
quite made it into her good graces. It was more of an aspiration on his part. I think.
Oh, does this mean we can never go back to the Emporium?
Well, I mean, like,
Let's see.
no one knows anything. I guess.
Well,
the
we just
gossip-
released people to sing our praises.
That's true. That's true. The gossip would say
Right.
that he was involved, and
Yeah.
that he's involved with Black. Like, there's gonna be some gossip that's gonna be uncomfortable. for
Yeah,
him.
Bryn definitely turns to Evangeline while we're driving off and just says, "So, shape shifting."
A little bit.
And we,
think-
we don't
I
have
think-
to address it. We don't have to address it today. But
Yeah, I think the last line of the session would be Lorem turning around while at the wheel going, Evangeline, what the fuck? End scene.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be many discussions amongst the party members at the beginning of the next session. I'm trying to think of what some of the recap things are. Well, I guess you learned. I don't know. You might have learned in the previous session that Mahadi has some kind of direct connection to Asmodeus. If you can believe anything of that shoddy theater that you had to sit through, there are maybe some pieces in there that are helpful to you all in understanding Avernus and what some of the history of it in relation to Zariel is. You learn that there's a place that you can go to buy all sorts of different things as long as you're willing to pay the price. Yeah, I don't know. Other things that were highlights for you all, or things that your characters are keeping in mind.
Oh, when Apollos gets back, he's going to sit down with everyone and carefully write out all the names that he totally got wrong when listening to the play. Because he's like, and I think the 3 companions were Yale, Harrowman, and Ursinius, but I know the last one's wrong. And Zariel inherited Avernus from Baal, but that's sort of a hushed subject. And Asmodeus gave her a warhammer, which means she probably lost her sword before then, but none of the 3 looked much like a plain farmer lady soldier who looked like it would have been the person who had the sword. Like, was there any of those 3 that looked like it could have been a match?
Is she the one that shoved the?
Hard to say because they were all like in bad costumes and stuff like that. But
Okay.
the element of the sword like was definitely not a part of the theater.
Got it.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, Bryn is still probably thinking about that play too. I think the biggest takeaway for her is that she learned that if she hadn't known already, Zariel willingly bent the knee to Asmodeus in order to continue fighting evil. And that's kind of her takeaway lesson from that.
Yeah.
I feel like Bryn is very much like into this like dark side fight thing. So it's like
Yeah, well, cool. Well, thanks everyone for playing. The next time you're coming back to the fort, and Mad Maggie had promised that she was getting things ready for you to maybe delve into Lulu's memories a bit. So that's probably the big thing that we will be doing next time. We'll be seeing what journey that takes us in.
And we rescued all the children's soul from the cookie soul jar.
we did.
Yes.
It pays. It pays to do one explosion to save a lot of children's.
Mm-hmm. Crack a really big bad egg.
Yes.
So make a really great omelet.
I don't think you cook bad eggs, but I appreciate the sentiment.
It's Avernus.
It's a burden, yeah. Like
It's all bad
beggars
eggs.
can't be
They're all bad
choosers
eggs.
here. Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone. I think we will wrap it up here. Thanks for hanging out. The next time that we are streaming is on Saturday for our community campaign game. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, you might want to do so because when you do, I will send to your email inbox, the email that's associated with your Twitch account, occasionally signups to join us in the community campaign where currently we are playing the Isle of Dread. So we've got another one of those games happening on Saturday night at 7 p.m. So if that just sounds interesting or curious and you're looking to meet up with some people to play D&D, maybe come and watch the show on Saturday night to see what it's like to be in the community campaign game. Also would encourage you to join us on Discord, popping that up in the chat so you can come and hang out with us in between streams and talk with us about D&D and tabletop games and just other nerdy stuff that we enjoy distracting ourselves with. So come hang out with us there. Thanks, everyone. We're going to call it a night. We'll talk to you soon.